Hello, this is Christina Wallace and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to arrange flowers on a cake. If it's your first time to my channel, this is a channel all to do with flowers, either out of gum paste or cold porcelain. I do a weekly flower tutorial and also talk troubleshooting on Tuesdays, just like now. When you arrange your flowers, if you have quite a large arrangement, more than one big flower on the top of a cake, for example, please consider using a denser type of a sponge, because that would really help you. The main thing in arranging the flower on a cake, unless it's one big flower on top of a cake, is to distribute your weight, the weight of your flowers, evenly across the cake. So the weight pulls on each other rather than on your sponge, tearing it apart. So that's very important to kind of think it through and make sure that weight of flowers is the same and doesn't just pull to one side. Now, another thing to consider is to not put your wire straight into the cake. It's obviously a thing for hygiene reasons, but also if you insert a straw or a larger straw, depending on your arrangement, into the cake first, this makes your cake safer because wire is thinner, so it's a lot easier for it to kind of tear through the cake. So inserting something into the cake first and then the wire is a lot better. If you want to do a huge rose cascade on the side of a cake, you just might want to consider making your flowers out of deco clay. It's not toxic, it's totally hygienic, and they are just so much lighter. They like foamy flowers, and also you could just, or your client could just keep them as a memento afterwards. So that's just something to consider. And while we're on the subject of a cascade or some flower arrangement, when there are loads of flowers scattered around or maybe look like a cascade, but actually they don't have to be all coming out from the same source and attached to the same source. You could have some of the flowers, as long as they're not too heavy, attached to a toothpick and then attached into the cake directly. It also makes it easier that way to kind of fill up all the gaps and perhaps take it out and put it back in, not too many times, of course. It just makes your job of arranging these flowers a lot easier, arranging and rearranging. And now I just want to say a couple of words about making a little arrangement on a cake, either in the middle of it or on the top of it. There is a common misconception that you have to have all the flowers arranged in one bunch, just as you would with normal flowers. And as long as they look really nice and really full and really wonderful, you would just make a hole in your cake and then you place it there and jobs are good. And what happens really is that, in my experience, you should put your key flowers into the arrangement, and then the good idea would be to have a little bunches of your filler flowers, bunches of 2 or 3 or 5, taped together and attached to a toothpick, for example. And then just place those little filler flowers as needed around your arrangement. That way your job of filling up the gaps and making this arrangement, for example, perfectly round or whatever shape you want within your cake somewhere, much easier. And also it does help with the balance to some extent. Obviously you just need to be careful and not disturb your sponge unnecessarily. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like if you did. I will see you next Tuesday with more tips on gum paste and everything about it. And of course, I will see you all on Thursday with a brand new flower tutorial.